Engelbert Humperdinck once had the kind of fame most artists would sacrifice everything for. In the late 1960s, he was a force of nature, a man whose velvet voice and rugged looks sold more records than almost anyone on the planet. He was the king of romance, a title he wore with a charming, effortless grace. But the life he is living now at the age of 89 feels nothing like the dream people remember. Behind the sold-out crowds and the gold records is an extremely heartbreaking story, filled with staggering loss, financial regrets, and a private grief far more devastating than fans ever realized. As age begins to catch up with the legend, a heavy question hangs over his legacy. What really became of the man who once had it all? And is his upcoming tour truly the final curtain call on an era that will never be repeated? Welcome to Royal Time of Hollywood. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the man behind the music to discover the shocking reality of his life today. The birth of Arnold Dorsey. Most people don't realize that the man who conquered the world as Engelbert Humperdinck was actually born Arnold George Dorsey on May 2, 1936. His journey began in Madras, India, during the final days of the British Empire. Life was ordinary until it wasn't. When the family moved back to Leicester, England, young Arnold had a dream, but his body nearly failed him before he could start. He contracted tuberculosis, a serious lung infection that should have silenced his voice forever. Most singers would have quit, but Arnold possessed a resilience that would define his entire life. He first performed under his birth name and then as Jerry Dorsey, but success remained elusive. He was a talented singer with no breaks and no luck until he met the man who would change everything, Gordon Mills. Mills, who already managed Tom Jones, saw the raw potential in Dorsey, but knew the name had to go. He suggested a stage name so bizarre it felt like a prank, Engelbert Humperdinck, named after the 19th century German composer. It was a calculated risk that would either make him a laughingstock or a legend. Blocking the Beatles. The risk paid off in a way no one expected. In 1967, his single Release Me did the impossible. For months, it sat on a shelf, ignored by radio stations and record stores. Then came a single appearance on Sunday night at the London Palladium. The exposure was seismic. The next day, orders for 80,000 copies flooded in. Release Me spent 6 weeks at #1 in the UK. In doing so, it famously blocked the Beatles, at the height of their creative powers, from the top spot. The songs Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields Forever couldn't get past the man with the unusual name. He went on to sell over 140 million records worldwide, cementing a bond of mutual respect with Elvis Presley, who once told Engelbert, "I'm doing a lot of your songs, too." The dark side of the name. However, the name that brought him fame also brought his first taste of legal bitterness. The descendants of the original German composer sued him, claiming he was sullying a prestigious legacy. Engelbert was legally banned from using his stage name in Germany for years, a massive blow to his European career. This was followed by a simmering rivalry with his stablemate, Tom Jones. Though they shared a manager, they fought for the same spotlight. Tom claimed he was offered Release Me first and turned it down, a claim Engelbert has called unreasonable to this day. The tension between the two titans of the crooner era remains one of the great unresolved dramas of the music industry. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to check out the other stories and shocking updates on our channel. We've covered many incredible celebrity journeys, tragic endings, and untold Hollywood secrets that you don't want to miss. Binge watch our previous videos to discover more surprising facts, emotional stories, and where your favorite stars are today. Your support helps us bring you more powerful content like this, so don't forget to explore, watch more, and stay tuned for the next video. The fortune that slipped away. For a man who sold millions of albums, Engelbert's relationship with money has been tragically fraught. Perhaps the most painful story is from the 1960s, before he was famous. He and his wife allegedly won £33,000 on the football pools, a life-changing sum. But they were so poor they couldn't afford the postage stamp to claim the winnings. A fortune vanished because of a few pennies. In 2001, his touring company went into liquidation with massive debts, leading to accusations from suppliers that he had walked away from small businesses. Later, in 2003, He was caught in a brutal legal battle over concert rights that saw a judge label his lawsuit frivolous. The man who sang about love was being painted as a man who allowed himself to be used as a pawn in corporate vendettas. The greatest tragedy, Patricia. None of the money or the legal battles compared to the slow-motion tragedy of his home life. For 56 years, Engelbert had one constant: his wife, Patricia Healy. They married in 1964, and she stood by him through every storm. But in 2007, a new enemy appeared: Alzheimer's disease. For over a decade, Engelbert watched the woman he loved disappear piece by piece. He became her primary caregiver, refusing to tour for more than 4 days at a time so he could return to her side. He would sit in the garden she planted, hoping for a spark of recognition that rarely came. In January 2021, the entire household contracted a respiratory illness. Engelbert, at 84, begged fans on Instagram to pray for a miracle. But the miracle didn't come. Patricia passed away on February 6, 2021. Because of travel restrictions, their son could only say goodbye via FaceTime. The king of romance was left a widower, living in a house in Southern California that now feels like a mausoleum of memories. The final waltz? Now, in May 2026, Engelbert Humperdinck is 89 years old. He has just announced his celebration tour, starting in Sydney, Australia, which he admits is likely his final farewell to the stage. He is pushing through physical pain and the crushing weight of grief to perform. Interestingly, he has found a bizarre second life on TikTok. His song, A Man Without Love, went viral after appearing in Marvel's Moon Knight, introducing him to a generation of teenagers who have no idea who he is. Despite the heartbreak, he is releasing a new single, I Got You, on his 90th birthday. He lives alone in the home where he cared for Patricia, refusing to leave because it's where her spirit remains. He says he will sing until God calls him home, driven not by greed, but by an ambition that refuses to dim with age. The legend lives on. Engelbert Humperdinck's life is a testament to the fact that fame is no shield against the human condition. He is a man who lost a fortune over a stamp, was humiliated on the Eurovision stage, and lost the love of his life to a cruel disease, yet he still stands. He is a relic of a more glamorous time, still searching for that next perfect note. Do you think it's time for Engelbert Humperdinck to finally retire and find peace, or should he keep sharing his voice with the world until the very end? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for being part of the conversation. If you found this glimpse into Engelbert's life moving, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Royal Time of Hollywood, your home for timeless legends and unforgettable stories.